Hello everyone, welcome to Tech and Travel. Samsung has just launched its most premium and the highest spec model, Samsung S21 Ultra. We got a chance to get the Samsung S21 Ultra right on the launch day, and after 3 days of extensive testing, we're going to compare it with the flagship from Apple, iPhone 12 Pro Max. So let's compare these two flagship models together, the best of the Samsung and the best of the Apple world. Now we'll look at the two flagship phones in a very objective way, starting from design, the display, camera, processor, battery life, the operating system, and then the price, of course. So let's look at the design of these two flagship phones. Samsung S21 Ultra has a very impressive design. If you really look at it, it is a contour cut camera housing that seamlessly blends into the device metal frame, and it really does look gorgeous. This Samsung flagship is also coated with a luxurious haze finish all the way around, so it does really look premium and sophisticated. It is indeed very impressive. Combined with the way these 4 cameras and the additional sensor work together, this is a beautiful design. It's arguably the best designed smartphone at the moment in the market. Apple's flagship, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, is a design marvel in itself as well. It has a completely new flat design which was launched together with the all iPhone 12 models, and it really does look modern and very good. And here are the two flagship phones right next to each other. We did a flat design test. The iPhone 12 Pro Max could stand vertically all on its own, while the Samsung S21 Ultra required a bit of support behind. The S21 Ultra is available in 2 colors, the Phantom Black and Phantom Silver, while the iPhone 12 Pro Max has 4 color choices for you: the Pacific Blue, which is right here in this video, Graphite, Silver, and the Gold. So overall, the Samsung S21 and iPhone 12 Pro Max are very close when it comes to the design. It will get down to individual preferences around round edges and flat edges and the colors available, but in a nutshell they are very close. Next, moving to the display. So firstly, Samsung S21 is 6.8 inch, iPhone 12 Pro is 6.7 inch. Very little to choose between them there. It's just that they have a little bit of a different aspect ratio. Samsung is a bit taller, iPhone a bit wider. Both Samsung and the iPhone 12 Pro Max use an OLED screen, but that's where the similarities largely end. Samsung has 120 Hz of refresh rate, which makes it a lot more livelier to use. Similarly, the peak brightness is 1500 nits on the S21, while iPhone 12 Pro Max max outs at 1200 nits. The S21 Ultra comes with a durable Gorilla Glass, and while the iPhone 12 Pro scores a few points here with its ceramic shield. Another big plus for Samsung, it is S Pen compatible, which makes a huge difference. It gives you much greater choice to make use of your 6.8 inch real estate. Finally, while iPhone has a notch on top, Samsung has a inbuilt fingerprint display, which is really good to use. It is quick, convenient, precise, and it is larger than the previous generation. So with its 120 Hz, 1500 nits brightness, S Pen compatibility, and the fingerprint on the display, the S21 Ultra is a notch ahead of iPhone 12 Pro Max when it comes to display. Now moving to the cameras. These two flagship phones have the best cameras of the Samsung lineup and the Apple lineup respectively. Let's compare them on paper first, and then we'll look at a few pictures. Samsung has 4 different cameras while iPhone has 3. iPhone has the LiDAR sensor, Samsung has laser auto. Now coming to the big difference. On paper, Samsung has 108 megapixel main camera compared to 12 megapixel in iPhone 12, and we'll have a look at the pictures to compare whether that really makes a difference. Next, zoom is a big deal. Samsung has 10x optical zoom and up to 100x digital zoom, while iPhone 12 Pro Max has 2.5x optical zoom and 12x digital zoom. So here is a normal daytime picture. The Samsung S21 and iPhone 12 firstly are very similar. The Samsung S21 provides pictures that are a bit more vivid, and the white balance is a bit different from iPhone. iPhone provides a bit more of a natural looking shot. In this video as well, you can see that when it comes to clarity, when it comes to the ability to autofocus, these two cameras are so similar. The only difference is the color range and how they process the colors internally. Samsung has colors that are a bit more vivid, iPhone a touch towards being warmer in its look. It just will get down to individual preferences, and you can of course adjust settings to get one versus the other. And now zooming in to a piece of art, we have the iPhone 12 Pro Max on the left and Samsung S21 Ultra on the right. So there's very little to choose between these two cameras when it comes to shooting in broad daylight. We also tried making use of the zoom in the Samsung, and that's where the big difference starts to show. The S21 100x zoom is really good in taking pictures that are far off. Both S21 and 12 Pro Max have very impressive night modes. In fact, there were a few shots where I could get in extreme darkness S21 Ultra to perform better, but more on that later. We'll keep doing our tests. In our tests to date, we found the HDR Dolby Vision of iPhone 12 Pro Max to be groundbreaking. So overall, Samsung with its 4-camera setup, the ability to take 10x optical zoom and 100x digital zoom is a notch ahead of the 12 Pro when it comes to the camera setup. Samsung has done really well here. iPhone 12 Pro Max was recently rated the best camera system on a smartphone, and to beat that, S21 Ultra has really taken this battle a notch ahead. Next, let's look at the processing power of these phones. The iPhone 12 Pro Max in a nutshell is miles ahead here. The A14 chip performs really well and has a single core score of 1586, which is nearly 40% better than the S21 Ultra. Even when we compare the multi-core scores, and this is despite S21 having more cores than what 12 Pro Max has, 12 Pro Max still is the winner here. It is 26% higher performance when it comes to multi-core scores. So in a nutshell, the Samsung S21 and the Snapdragon chip there is arguably a generation behind the A14 chip. And clearly when it comes to the processing power, iPhone 12 Pro Max wins this round hands down. In practical terms, what it means is that you can play games at a higher resolution on iPhone 12 Pro Max, you can process and edit videos on it, and the most important thing from my perspective is that iPhone 12 Pro Max, because of the higher performance of these processors, would probably outlast the Samsung S21 by a couple of years. I've been using the iPhone 12 Pro Max for more than 3 months now, and it has fantastic battery life. Never for once have I had any issues with the battery life on iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'm myself a pro user. Now, Samsung goes one step ahead and has even larger capacity of battery on paper, 5000 versus 3687 milliamperes. Now, what is important to note, however, is that the A14 chip inside iPhone 12 Pro Max is a lot more power efficient. So I don't think iPhone 12 Pro Max required the 5000 milliamperes in the very first place. Having said that, the initial test results are directing towards S21 having a marginally better battery life, while the iPhone 12 Pro Max lasts for 17 hours, the S21 probably goes all the way to 19 hours. These two flagships have wireless charging and they perform really well when it comes to wireless charging. One big difference though is that the iPhone 12 Pro Max comes with MagSafe, just as the entire iPhone 12 lineup, and that just makes it a lot more convenient to charge wirelessly. So all things considered, to me it's a pretty equal game when it comes to the battery life and charging capabilities of S21 and the 12 Pro Max. Next, the operating system and the ecosystem. Samsung S21 Ultra works on the latest version of Android 11, and it really has some very good features combined with the One UI 3.0 from Samsung. The big difference, however, is the simplicity of iOS compared to Samsung having to work with Android and the hardware and software not really talking to each other all the time, and that results in a better experience on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Overall, as we all know, Apple has a better ecosystem. The devices work a lot better together. Now, there are a couple of other things that you need to keep in mind when you're making a decision to buy these devices. This is not going to swing your decision one way or the other, and therefore we decided to club these things together. Firstly, both S21 and 12 Pro Max have 5G. They have Wi-Fi 6. There is no charger, no headphones in the box, the new trend that has also got into the flagships. Both of them are really heavy phones at 229 grams and 228 grams, and one must be mindful of that. They both have dual SIM, they both are water resistant IP68. Now coming to the all important pricing. The S21 starts at $1199, iPhone 12 Pro Max is $100 cheaper at $1099, both for the same 128GB capacity. As you go for the higher upgrades to 256 and 512, the gap tends to reduce, but overall it's a difference of $100, and this gap might just come down as Samsung is a bit more flexible when it comes to pricing as the device starts to age up. We've looked at the most important aspects of these two phones. Let's get to the final verdict. So overall, S21 and 12 Pro Max are the best phones available in the world today. Having said that, when it comes to display and the camera, S21 scores higher than 12 Pro Max. And if that is important to you, you should go for S21. If you're looking for a better processor, the Apple ecosystem, then the 12 Pro Max would work better for you. In a nutshell though, if you're looking to buy a completely new phone, the S21 Ultra has that edge, though marginally above the 12 Pro Max. The only challenge though is that you're unlikely to be a first-time buyer buying a S21 Ultra or a 12 Pro Max. Now, therefore the big question is it worth switching from the Apple ecosystem to Samsung or vice versa? I guess if you are someone in the Samsung ecosystem and if you have been having Samsung devices, this is clearly a choice. You shouldn't even look at iPhone 12 Pro. But if you've been married to the Apple ecosystem, if you've had iPhones all the way through, or your previous model was an iPhone, then I think you might just be better off sticking to the iPhone 12 Pro lineup. For more such unbiased reviews and for the latest on tech and travel, subscribe to our channel Tech and Travel.